This conference will now be recorded.
Hello guys, welcome back. So now here, and this is once again basic setting itself. So till now in basic setting, we have covered multiple things like posting period variant, fiscal year variant, field status variant, number range, document type. So these are the things which is covered already. Now the next one is tolerance group. So first of all, we'll discuss what is this tolerance group, what is the use of this tolerance group, why do we configure this tolerance group. So these things are going to be explained, and then I'll explain practically like how the tolerance group is going to be set up into SAP. So if we talk about tolerance group, guys, look at here. Tolerance group, it is also called tolerance limits. Okay, it refers to a way to make sure that the employee do not exceed their limits in terms of amounts or discount in the financial transactions. Now here, if you talk about this definitions, I think bit confusing in the sense like until unless I quote example here, I don't think that you guys will be able to understand. So I'll just do one thing. I'll quote an example here. Okay, say for example, now here I'll just do one thing. Okay, so let's suppose there are okay. Earlier, I have quoted this example during posting period variant that there are 3 guys and they have made some mistake during posting and all. That is already now. So here, what is happening in this like tolerance group? So once again, like let's suppose there are 3 people, A, B, C. Okay, is the part of, let's suppose, account payable department. They are working in account payable. They're the part of account payable team. So what is the use of this? What is happening in account payable, guys? Account payable means all the activity related to vendor is going to be taken care. In the sense like vendor means all the procurement related activities are going to be taken care. Creation of purchase order, right? Again, like posting of the goods receipt, invoice receipt, finally releasing the payment to the vendor. Any what to say, there will be help desk team also, which is going to like responsible to resolve all the queries or issues which is going to be raised by vendor, right? Apart from this, vendor credit memo, say for example, if any goods are going to be returned to the vendor, that is also supposed to be like recorded here in the that is the part of account payable itself. Apart from this, vendor master data maintenance, that is going to be discussed in details in account payable segment. Once I start this account payable, there I'm going to explain. So in account payable, let's suppose these 3 people. A is responsible. A is the part of master data team. Okay, I'm just typing in shortcut, guys. So A is the part of master data team. B is responsible for what? Invoice posting. Okay, invoice posting. And C is the part of payment team. So payment posting. See, I'll tell you. Whenever like any business, if any business is going to happen with the vendor, business in the sense like let's suppose any procurement. So first of all, what is happening, guys? A purchase order need to be created with the help of in SAP itself. PO is going to be created. So purchase order is going to be created against a particular vendor, right? So first of all, that vendor must be set up into SAP. So what is happening, guys? In order to set up the vendor, there will be a team called vendor master team. So this vendor master team is going to maintain the vendor details into SAP, right? So A is the part of this master data maintenance team. Okay, and B is the part of invoice posting. Once the vendor got set up into SAP, then what will happen? PO is going to be created and PO is going to be released. That is going to be sent to the vendor, and based on that, vendor is going to send you the goods and invoices. So invoice posting team is going to post the invoices, right? Whatever invoice, if you have received an invoice worth of 1,000 or 2,000, 5,000, whatever it is, that is supposed to be posted into SAP. And then finally, once we post the invoice, then what will happen, guys? We must have to make payment to the vendor. So the payment posting team is going to post the payment. Since if you talk about the big organizations, in big organizations, what is happening, guys? A team will be there. A team of, let's suppose, 45 people or 60 people or 100 people, depends upon the size of the organizations. If more number of transactions are taking place, then of course we need more number of the people, more number of resources to manage and post these transactions into SAP. So now what is happening? So under account payable also, again based on the activity, small team will be there now. So now what is happening, guys? These all together, these three people, they have made a plan. And what plan they have made? They made like, okay, why not to do one thing? A is saying that I create a dummy vendor. Okay, A will create a dummy vendor. And what B is going to do? So in dummy vendor, A is going to maintain his own bank account. Let's suppose this Tata Motor is using like once the invoice got posted and all, and once the payment is going to be released, then they're making online transfer, online payment transfer. So whatever the bank details are specified in the vendor, that bank, in that bank itself, in that bank account, the payment is going to be transferred. Okay, as I told you guys, once I start account payable, then you guys will be having understanding about this process, but still I'm just trying to explain in a simple and what to say, a simple way. So here now let's suppose A is decided to create a dummy vendor, and in that he's going to maintain his own bank account. Okay, and then what is happening? B is going to post a dummy invoice. B is going to post a dummy invoice. Okay, worth of any amount, guys. Let's suppose a huge amount. Okay, now or 50 lakh or 40 lakh or 10 lakh, whatever it is. Okay, let's suppose any amount, let's suppose. Now here C is going to, we'll talk about like, let's suppose, or else like what of this one. Okay, and then C is going to release the payment, in the sense post the payment. Okay, payment posting. Now C is going to post the payment. So in this case, what is happening, guys? This is called fraud. So is it possible? I'll tell you guys, in SAP, there is no possibility at all to make a fraud of even a single rupees also. This is why it is like most demanded module in the market, and it is going to be used by almost whichever the big organizations are there, guys. If we talk about the Fortune 500 companies and all, 90% or more than 90% of the companies are using this SAP, right? Because of this securities and everything, right? Now here, so there is no possibility. But now how they are like, so how we are going to control this? Multiple what is the things are there, but right now we are talking about this tolerance group. So even tolerance group is also having such kind of this kind of control functionality. What is the use of tolerance group? Now I'll tell you. So this is their plan to create a dummy vendor, post a dummy invoice, and then C is going to release the payment. Finally, what is happening? 10 lakh rupees worth of payment has been made. All three, they have distributed 3.33 lakh rupees altogether, right? So now, but generally it is not going to happen. Why? Because the moment this B is trying to post the invoice worth of 10 lakh rupees, immediately system is going to throw error that you are not authorized to post transactions more than so and so amount. It means what we have done, guys, in SAP we are having a functionality to apply a kind of restrictions on the employee, that this employee can post a transactions worth of this limit only, in the sense what till 1 lakh, till 1 lakh, or else 2 lakh or 5 lakh. So such kind of restrictions can be given. So now here what is happening? So SAP has given a functionality called tolerance group. Okay, that is called tolerance group. Tolerance group. Okay. Now, so let's suppose it depends how many tolerance groups are going to be created. Let's suppose I'm going to create three tolerance group. Okay. If you talk about the tolerance group, certain code need to be given like 4-digit code or minimum 1-digit code also. Let's suppose I'm going to set up A, not ABC. ABC, I've given the name of these people, right? So here I'll just do one thing. Okay. TM, let's suppose A, and here TM B and TM C. Just I have given three different code, guys. This is identification code, that's it. Okay, nothing else. Now we are going to define three different tolerance group. What is the benefit, guys? So as I told you, now tolerance group means we can give certain limit. So for this TMA, I have given a limit of 1 lakh, whereas for this one I have given a limit 10 lakhs, and here we have given a limit of more than 10 lakh, in the sense unlimited. There is no limit. Okay. Now, so how it is going to work, guys, that I'll explain. So here three tolerance group we have defined: TMA, TMB, TMC, and every tolerance group is having certain limit. Now, so whoever the ground level people are there, their user ID I'm going to assign against this tolerance group. In this tolerance group I have assigned A, B, C, let's suppose. So if any transaction is going to be posted by their user ID, then what will happen, guys? They can post a maximum worth of 1 lakh rupees transactions only. If any invoice which is more than 1 lakh, let's suppose if any invoice is there which is having like the value more than 1 lakh, then that invoice cannot be posted by their user ID. This ABC, their user ID we have assigned, these user ID we have assigned against this tolerance group, TMA. And in this tolerance group, we have given a restrictions, we have given a limit of 1 lakh. It means once the invoice is going to be, generally a user ID need not to assign, guys, because they are the part of master data. They are not involved in transaction posting. They have to create only master data only. So A is not responsible to post any invoices and all, and even A will not be having authorizations to post the invoices. They'll be having authorizations to perform different activity. Now B and C, these people are involved in transaction posting. So this B and C, their user ID I have assigned here against this tolerance group. Okay, so when the invoice is going to be posted by B worth of 10 lakh rupees, 15 lakh, 10 lakh or 15 lakh or whatever currency, means it could be 10 lakh USD, GBP, INR, whatever it is, right? So this B is going to get error. System will throw error. Why? Because the moment transaction is going to be posted by this user ID, system will check in background that okay, this user ID, the transaction is posted by this user ID. Now, what are the, and again system will check like against which company code transaction is going to be posted. So let's suppose the company code is TM00. Against this company code transaction is getting posted. So in that case, what will happen, guys? In that case, now system found that this company code, okay, by which user ID? So it is the user ID is of B. Now for this company code, is there any tolerance group has been created? System found that yes, three tolerance group has been created. Okay, three tolerance group has been created. Now again, so now system is going to find out that B, the user ID of this B, is assigned against which tolerance group. So system found it is assigned against TMA tolerance group. And what is the what kind of restrictions we have given in what is the amount limit which we have given in TMA, guys? So system found that only 1 lakh, and B is trying to post a transactions worth of 10 lakh rupees. So it means whatever limit we have given is going to be, it is being exceeded, right? So in that case, what is happening, guys? B will not be able to post the transactions because we have already applied a limit here. So it means the transactions worth of 1 lakh or less than 1 lakh is only allowed if B is trying to post the transactions. Okay, if the transactions which is more than 1 lakh is not possible to post by B or C. So here the invoice itself is not posted. Then what about the payment? Payment, of course, it is not going to be released, right? Because there is no invoice. Now there is one more thing. And let's suppose D is there and E is there. D is the team leader. Okay, their user ID is assigned against TMB, and here we have given 10 lakh rupees of this one limit. Okay, and E is like manager, their user ID. Here it is assigned against TMC, against this tolerance group. So by using this user ID of E, it is possible to post any worth of transactions. Okay, so now this is what the use of tolerance group. Tolerance group, once again I'll come back right now. Okay, so there is few more things, guys. Tolerance group means not only for amount, even in terms of discount also. Here we have given like 5%, here 10%, and here 20%. Okay, now let's suppose I told like we have given a limit worth of 1 lakh. It means B will be able to post a transactions worth of 1 lakh rupees, invoice worth of 1 lakh rupees itself. Now, even in terms of discount also we have applied some restrictions. Say for example, customer payment is there, like customers are there, Tata Motor, multiple customers will be happy, right? So let's suppose a customer belongs to like the B is having like certain customer is having like like okay, I'll tell you now. So B this Tata Motor is having several customers. Let's suppose customer is going to make payment of a particular invoice. Okay, so the customer is supposed to make payment of 10 lakh rupees, let's suppose. Okay, or is the customer not 10 lakh rupees is not possible, so I'll just do one thing. Customer is supposed to make payment of, or it's like yes, 10 lakh rupees itself. Now what is happening? Instead of 10 lakh, now what will happen, guys? If the customer is going to make payment of, there might be a chances that B is going to have a secret deal with the customer, saying that you just do one. Generally it doesn't happen, but just creating a scenario, just assume that. Okay, real practically doesn't happen. So instead of 10 lakh rupees, what is happening, guys? This customer is going to make payment of 1 lakh rupees only. So B will post this transaction here in SAP worth of 1 lakh rupees. What about remaining 9 lakh rupees, guys? So B is going to grant a discount of 90%. So 9 lakh rupees is going to be given in terms of discounts and all. So in terms of discount, 9 lakh rupees got posted and only 1 lakh rupees is posted in the terms of payment, in the sense receipt. And whatever 90% discount has been given to the customer, the customer is going to make some payment to the B, what to say, individually. So even in that case also there might be a fraud. Instead of 5%, we have granted 20% discount, 30% discount. There is a, like, let's suppose there are certain customer which is having like some association of this B is having some personal association and all, and given more discounts, right? So even the restrictions can be applied here in terms of discount also. Okay, so if the B is going to grant more discount, if it is exceeding 5%, then system is going to throw error that you are not eligible to give this much discount. So now I'll come back on PPT once again. So what I said, guys, what I said here, I said, okay, so this is what. Now, so tolerance group or tolerance limit, it is also called tolerance limit. Now I'll read out. Refers to a way to make sure that employee do not exceed their limits. Employee do not exceed their limit. In terms of what? In terms of amounts or discounts. Okay. in financial transaction, in the sense whichever transactions are getting posted, okay. Now look at here. So here we are having this amount limits, and here we are having discounts as well. So practically I'll show you guys how it is going to be created. And one more thing is there. Now, so as I told you, let me come here. Okay, so now, okay, come back here. So now what is happening, guys? First of all, how many tolerance group can be created? So there is no limitations for this, guys. It depends upon client. Okay, we are not going to decide our own that how many tolerance group is created. You just need to explain the logic. This is what the logic behind creation of tolerance group. Now you tell me how many tolerance group is supposed to be created. Whether you want to give these restrictions like you are going to segregate in 4 part, 5 part, 6 part, or 2 parts only. That is decided by client. Then they will say that okay, 2 or 3 or 4. Okay. Now again the question is, if 3 tolerance group client has suggested, so against TMA, TMB, and TMC. So how many user IDs are going to be assigned against this tolerance group? How many user IDs are going to be assigned against this tolerance group, and how many user ID is going to be assigned by this tolerance group? This is also decided by client itself. We are not going to provide any of our feedback because we don't know like their designations and all. Right, it's client better know. That is why simply we are going to explain the logic behind creation of this tolerance group, and simply we will ask that you just do one thing, you send us the details, and as per that we are going to assign the user ID. So client will provide you the details, guys. Okay, now so this is what the logic behind this tolerance group, and now in the next session I'm going to show you that how to set up this tolerance group practically.